The Conjuring universe is one of the most chilling horror franchises of the last decade. Forget cheap jump scares and endless slasher sequels. These movies are all about creeping dread, cursed objects, and the true story angle that makes you want to sleep with the lights on. But here's the question every fan asks. Out of all four main Conjuring movies, which one is the scariest, the strongest, and the most unforgettable? That's exactly what we're ranking today. From demonic possession to cursed mirrors, this is all four Conjuring movies ranked. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Now, quick ground rules. I'm only talking about the mainline Conjuring films, the ones focused on Ed and Lorraine Warren. Spin-offs like Annabelle, The Nun, or The Curse of Walla Llorona are creepy in their own ways, but they're not part of this list. Ready? Let's start at the bottom and work our way up to the ultimate Conjuring film. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, 2021. Alright, coming in last place, we've got The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Now, don't get me wrong, this movie still has plenty of eerie moments. The opening scene with the exorcism of little David Glatzel is one of the best sequences in the entire franchise. The way the demon writhes inside that poor kid, contorting his body while the Warrens desperately try to intervene, it's classic Conjuring horror at its finest. And when Arnie Johnson takes the demon into himself to save David, you can feel the doom hanging over him. The premise here is fascinating. This is the story of America's first murder trial where demonic possession was used as a defense. That's wild, and it's a true case the Warrens were involved in. Instead of the traditional haunted house, this movie mixes courtroom drama with occult investigation, which could have been a great shakeup for the series. But here's the issue. It never quite sticks the landing. Once Arnie kills his landlord under demonic influence, the movie shifts gears into a witch's curse, occult totems, and a shadowy Satanist named Isla who turns out to be the daughter of a priest. The Warrens end up unraveling a conspiracy instead of purely battling a demon. And while it's interesting, it lacks the claustrophobic terror of the earlier films. Yes, there are creepy visions. Yes, there are plenty of scares, but it feels like the franchise lost some of its edge here. The horror leans more into action thriller territory, and suddenly Ed and Lorraine feel like less investigators of the supernatural and more demon-fighting detectives. Still, the emotional moments are strong. Ed's love for Lorraine literally saves him when he nearly turns on her under the curse, and that ending, with Arnie convicted but still marrying Debbie while in prison, ties the story together in a strangely hopeful way. Number 3. The Conjuring, Last Rites, 2025. Okay, now this one is brand new and still fresh in everyone's mind. The Conjuring, Last Rites. This movie feels like a swan song for Ed and Lorraine Warren, a kind of emotional curtain call that ties their story together. And honestly, it's got one of the most gut-punching openings in the entire series. Lorraine, pregnant with Judy, touches a mirror during an investigation, sees a horrifying vision, and ends up in labor. The baby is stillborn until her desperate prayers bring Judy back to life. That's not just creepy, that's heartbreaking. It immediately sets the tone that this isn't just another ghost hunt. This one is personal. Fast forward 20 years and we're with the Smurl family in Pennsylvania, who were dealing with one of the nastiest hauntings in Conjuring history. Their house is infested with dark entities, linked to a cursed mirror, the same mirror that nearly destroyed Lorraine all those years ago. Now, I'll give this movie credit. The hauntings here are brutal. From Dawn vomiting glass shards at breakfast, to Jack being attacked by a female spirit, to Judy herself getting dragged into visions of Annabelle and other cursed objects, this film doesn't hold back. It's violent, it's grotesque, and it feels like the Conjuring franchise going full throttle one last time. But what really works is how it weaves Judy into the story. For the first time, she's not just the Warrens' daughter in the background. She's a psychic force in her own right, caught between her fear of her powers and the destinies she's been running from. Watching Judy step up alongside Ed and Lorraine makes this film feel like a true generational passing of the torch. Of course, the centerpiece is the cursed mirror. When it finally reveals itself as the source of the evil, all hell breaks loose. Judy gets possessed, Lorraine relives her worst fears, and Ed literally has to perform last rites on the mirror itself. The sequence where the mirror levitates, spinning uncontrollably while the house tears apart, it's pure nightmare fuel. And the ending? Judy survives, gets married, and the Warrens share one last dance, with Lorraine hinting at visions of their future family. It's emotional, it's tragic, but it gives closure in a way few horror series manage. So why isn't Last Rites higher? Well, for one, it's a lot. The runtime is packed with visions, possessions, and entities, and sometimes it feels like the movie's juggling too many ideas at once. And while it's epic, it doesn't quite have the iconic simplicity of the top two entries. The Conjuring 2, 2016. At number 2, we've got The Conjuring 2. If the first movie put the Warrens on the horror map, this one cemented them as icons. Set in 1977, it takes us to Enfield, London, where the Hodgson family is tormented by an angry old man's ghost and something much darker pulling the strings. The scares here are top tier. Janet Hodgson's possession scenes are downright chilling. Watching a little girl transform into the snarling voice of Bill Wilkins is enough to make your skin crawl. But the real masterstroke of Conjuring 2 is Valak, the demon nun. With just a handful of scenes, she became one of the most terrifying figures in modern horror. That moment where Lorraine sees Valak in the painting and the shadow slowly crawls across the room before leaping at her, that's nightmare fuel for years. This movie also nails the emotional side of the Warrens' relationship. Lorraine is haunted by visions of Ed's death, and you genuinely feel her fear of losing him. The climax, with Ed nearly impaled by a falling tree and Lorraine using the demon's name to banish it, is both terrifying and deeply satisfying. And let's not forget the Crooked Man. Say what you will about the spin-off never materializing, but his introduction here is both surreal and terrifying. A great example of how the Conjuring movies always sneak in an extra haunting figure to mess with your mind. The only reason Conjuring 2 isn't at number 1 is because it sometimes feels a little bloated. At over 2 hours, it tries to balance the Amityville prologue, the Enfield haunting, and Lorraine's visions of Valak all in one go. But honestly, that's nitpicking. This movie is scary, emotional, and unforgettable. Number 1, The Conjuring, 2013. And finally, number 1, the movie that started it all, The Conjuring. What makes this the best Conjuring film isn't just the scares, though it has plenty of them. It's the atmosphere. This movie captures that slow-building dread better than almost any modern horror film. From the moment the Parent family moves into their Rhode Island farmhouse, you feel something is deeply wrong. The clock stops at 3:07. Strange bruises appear on Carolyn. The dog won't even enter the house. It's simple, but it's terrifying. Bathsheba Sherman, the witch who cursed the land, is one of the scariest antagonists in the entire series. The possession of Carolyn is horrifying to watch, especially that scene where she tries to kill her own daughter in the cellar. And the exorcism at the end, with Ed forcing the demon out as Lorraine grounds Carolyn in her humanity, is as intense as it gets. But beyond the scares, what sets The Conjuring apart is its authenticity. James Wan's direction makes it feel grounded, almost documentary-like at times, which adds to the based on a true story terror. The Parent family feels real. The Warrens feel real. And when you walk away, you're not just scared of Bathsheba, you're scared of the idea that this could happen to anyone, anywhere. And of course, this movie gave us the Warrens' artifact room, Annabelle, the music box, the cursed trinkets. It set the stage for an entire cinematic universe of nightmares. So yes, while the later films are bigger and sometimes bolder, the original Conjuring remains the scariest, the tightest, and the most iconic.
I'll stop your heart, old man!
Our nerdy thoughts. So there you have it. All 4 Conjuring films ranked. At number 4, The Devil Made Me Do It, a chilling but flawed detour into courtroom horror. At number 3, Last Rites, a fitting and emotional farewell packed with terrifying mirror hauntings. At number 2, The Conjuring 2, the London haunting that gave us Valak and some of the series' most iconic scares. And at number 1, The Conjuring, the pure horror classic that started it all and still holds up as the franchise's crowning achievement. But now I want to know, what's your ranking? Do you agree that the original is still the scariest, or do you think The Conjuring 2 deserves the top spot? And how did Last Rites land for you? An epic send-off, or too much all at once? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because if there's one thing we horror fans love, it's debating which film made us sleep with the lights on longest. Until next time, stay safe, keep your crucifix handy, and maybe don't buy any old mirrors at antique shops.
You are Valak, the Defiler!
heck, I'll laugh anyway.